If you own a home here along the Gulf Coast, you learn to dread hurricane season. You worry about damage to your home and the damage to your wallet caused by ever-increasing insurance rates. The problem is getting so bad, some folks are organizing to get something done. The big question is, can anything be done? Charles Hall was born in this house in Fairhope. It's been in his family for years. But now all the memories contained within its walls are at risk. Hall and his wife don't have homeowners insurance. He says the premiums have gotten too expensive.
And normally I'm very, very nervous when I go to work in the morning to know that there's a possibility that something could happen.
Just a few years ago, homeowners insurance on his home cost $1,750. The latest quote put the bill at $3,400. Did they give you any reason for why they doubled?
Well, our proximity to the bay, I presume. It's this south of I-65 theory.
But you're not anywhere near the water.
No, I'm not.
In fact, Hall lives about 9 miles away from Mobile Bay.
I'm looking for the cheapest deal I can get that I can afford.
The cost of homeowners insurance in Alabama increased by 2/3 between 2001 and 2005 as insurance companies faced billions of dollars worth of hurricane damage claims. To cut its losses, State Farm is pulling out of the homeowners insurance market in Florida altogether. Allstate, Alpha, and now Farmers will drop wind and or hail coverage on thousands of policies in Mobile and Baldwin counties in the next year and a half. Allstate spokesman Shane Robinson told me sometimes companies have to make difficult decisions to preserve their capital, and dropping wind and hail coverage was one of them. But he said those families losing coverage have other options.
For those customers, they all fall within the Alabama Wind Pool Association, so they should be qualified for to be written under the Alabama Wind Pool. So,
which can be more expensive coverage.
Well, you know, I think honestly, I think you're right. It's probably a little bit on the more expensive side.
The Alabama Insurance Underwriting Association, more commonly called the Wind Pool, is a safety net with a big hole in it. Consider this. Just 5 years ago, the Alabama Wind Pool insured $300 million worth of property. It was prepared to cover $30 million. It had to pay out $150 million in claims. Now the Alabama Wind Pool insures more than $2 billion worth of property. It simply doesn't have enough money to cover another 50% loss, $1 billion. That bill would have to be picked up by Alabama taxpayers. Some of the insurance companies that remained have increased their rates or imposed what's called a hurricane deductible. Let me give you an example. Say your house is insured for $200,000 and you have a hurricane deductible of 5%. That means if you suffer damage from a hurricane, the first $10,000 worth of repairs to your home comes out of your pocket. Amy Bach is executive director of a nonprofit organization in San Francisco that helps consumers with insurance problems. She told me that groups like the Homeowners Hurricane Insurance Initiative in Alabama are doing the right thing by putting pressure on the State Department of Insurance to serve as an advocate for consumers.
Alabamians, have been paying relatively high rates for a long time. And why? You have to look to the regulator in that situation.
The other candidate that I had.
Betty Gurley is a member of the Insurance Initiative. She says the regulator in this case, the State Department of Insurance, isn't transparent enough with information about insurance claims and losses.
The Department of Insurance, I would say, should be a vehicle for individuals. I don't know that it is.
Jim Ridling is Alabama's insurance commissioner. He told me his department can't distribute rate or claims information it doesn't collect.
Bob, it's not that we refuse to give them. Obviously, we don't have them, never have had them. The department's never required companies to report on that basis. so that the information didn't exist. The department's number one objective is and always has been representing the consumer and protecting the consumer.
This wind pool, primarily in these yellow and green areas in the...
That's where State Senator Ben Brooks comes in. He's been working to pass a package of bills that will require companies to balance affordability with availability. But he's had trouble getting folks in other parts of the state to go along with it.
We unfortunately have some geographic issues where some that are in the far northern parts of the state don't quite empathize with the problems that we're having down here. The average homeowner that's impacted by this is the homeowner in Theodore, Tillman's Corner, Grand Bay, Daphne, Foley.
Or in Fairhope. In the meantime, homeowners will have to wait, pay, and pray we don't get another hurricane soon. Now, just yesterday, State Farm said it would offer discounts of up to 30% to Mississippi policyholders who strengthen their homes against wind damage, all because the insurance commissioner there intervened. So how do the Alabama gubernatorial candidates plan to attack the rising cost of homeowners insurance? Now, keep in mind the governor appoints the insurance commissioner. More than 2 weeks ago, I sent an email to each candidate's campaign asking about his or her stand on the homeowners insurance dilemma facing thousands of you. 3 candidates responded. I posted the answers I received on our website, fox10tv.com. And for another web exclusive, you can also go to fox10tv.com to watch my entire interview with State Senator Ben Brooks.